Your labs come back normal. Everything looks fine, but you're still exhausted. Your digestion is off. Your cycle is all over the place. Your mood swings are intense, and everyone around you is saying, but your tests are normal, so you'll be fine. You're just going through something. It's just hormones. It's just whatever. Here's what I want you to know. So normal labs don't mean that your body is regulated and your symptoms are real data. Your body is responding. It's not failing. So welcome to Healing Her Feminine podcast. I am Lindsey Alexis, and today we are talking about why you can feel genuinely unwell even when medicine says that you're healthy or normal, and what that actually means for your healing. So welcome back to the podcast. We did do an episode in the previous series about this topic, about your labs coming back normal. So you guys are more than welcome to go check that out after this episode. It was one of the greatest episodes, like the most viewed episodes, which is why I decided to do this 3-part series. This is episode 1 of that 3-part series. So if you guys are new here, then this is the space where we talk about hormone health, nervous system regulation, and what it actually takes to feel good in your body again, and not just look good on paper. So we take you from survival mode, burnout, overwhelm, fatigue, stress, etc., and we learn and bring you into sovereignty, where you can experience peace and ease and joy in your life again. Like I said, today's episode is going to be part 1 of this 3-part series called Regulation First. And here's the promise I want to make to you guys. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand that you're not failing, that your body is responding, and when you stop forcing and start regulating, that is when healing becomes simpler, it becomes clearer, and it becomes much more sustainable. So this episode is for you if you've ever felt genuinely unwell, like your doctor says everything looks fine, but you internally, you just know that like something is off. Things aren't how they used to be. Things aren't functioning how they used to be. There's certain signs and symptoms that you're experiencing. If you are high functioning, a high achiever, a CEO of some caliber or degree, and on the outside, everything looks really great, right? People are like, oh, I wish I had your life. Oh, how do you do all of these things? You know, you're constantly getting these compliments on the external of your life, but internally you are actually bracing on the inside, right? You have been told to try harder with these things, to do more, or maybe just manage your stress better, right? And maybe you've tried all of those things. Maybe you've tried nutrition, exercise, supplements, meditational work, breath work, all of these things, and none of it has actually really stuck. So if any of those things are you, then welcome to this episode. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing that I want to discuss is the paradox between normal labs and your real symptoms. Okay, so why your symptoms are real, right? Even when your test looks fine. So let's start with a truth that changed how I work with clients. Functional medicine, the range and the clinical range, right, of clinical work, they're completely different. Those are 2 different realms. You have the medical world and you have the functional medicine world, right? They crisscross in a couple of areas, okay? But their modalities are actually separate. So your doctor runs a test, all right, and the results come back. Everything falls in that range of normal, right? And then the doctors are like, oh, you're fine. There's nothing abnormal on your test. So I really don't know what's going on. Maybe I'll just send you to the specialist that deals specifically with, you know, whatever that symptom or thing that you're experiencing is. But when the doctor says something like that to you, what do you instantly feel? Defeated. You feel um, kind of exhausted, right? That, and maybe even irritable, right? That you came to the doctor in hopes of answers because they're a doctor, right? And they're supposed to know, if I tell you XYZ is happening, then you're supposed to tell me, oh, this is actually what's going on in your body. And then, hey, this is how we resolve this issue. But 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen because your labs come back normal. But you know that you don't feel fine, and you know that you're tired, you know that you're stressed out, maybe your digestion is sluggish, or maybe your skin is breaking out, right? Maybe you have adult acne, maybe your cycle is irregular, maybe 1 month it's really heavy and strong and like 5 to 7 days, and then the next one it's like 2 days and you're like, what the heck? Maybe you're skipping periods, right? Maybe during your period, let's say you become really irritable, or maybe during your period, you're on your bed or your couch all day because you're just in so much pain. There is just this cognitive dissonance that happens, right? Like, if I'm normal, if the tests prove normal, why do I still feel this way, right? So there's that disconnect that you feel. And what's really happening is conventional lab ranges they're designed to catch disease. Okay. And they're pretty wide. If you've ever really looked at the ranges on some of these tests that they test for, like, the ranges are pretty significant. And they're basically meant to identify when something is seriously wrong. Okay. So you could have like thyroid disease, or maybe you have anemia, or maybe you have diabetes, like the headlines, right? But they're not designed to tell you when you're actually thriving. Okay. They're designed to tell you when things are off, right? But off in a capacity of like, oh, this actually needs real treatment, not, oh, you can still manage this because you're not fully broken yet, right? Think of it as like this just popped in my head, but think of it as like, think of it as like a toy, right? So when my kids have toys, brand new toys, everything's nice, shiny, new, works 100% of the time, right? And then after a while, you just kind of get worn out, right? Maybe the paint is chipping off, or maybe one of the wheels is kind of not working like it used to. It's nothing really major, but it still isn't 100% optimal. It's not functioning 100%. And then you have when the wheel actually falls off, right? Or when, you can't fix whatever's actually broken on it, right? So it's a bigger issue than just the paint chipping. It's like it's inoperable. And so those tests are meant to catch the inoperable before it gets to that point, but right before it gets to that point. We are trying to look at that phase where it's like, hey, the wheel's not turning quite like it used to. What's going on? Or, hey, the paint's kind of chipped, can we kind of fix the paint a little bit here, so that I could get back to normal? Like, that's what we're looking at, right? And that's what functional medicine is. Its ranges are much tighter, right, than conventional medicine. And we're looking at optimal function. We want you to be at 100% of the time. So it's not the absence of disease. Okay. We're looking at, oh, hey, you're starting to see these things. So let's get on it before it gets way too much. And then you have to have something major in regards to healing happen, right? So you can be normal by conventional standards and still be operating in a suboptimal range functionally. Okay. What else do I want to tell you about this subject? So let's see. I already gave you an example. I'm reading my notes and I had another example in there. So your symptoms are real data. Okay, let's pull it back to that. They are your body's way of communicating, right? We talk about hormones all the time being the actual messengers and communicators of the body. Your body's constantly communicating to you that something needs to shift. It's not because you're broken, but it's because you're not optimized, right? You're not regulated. You're not fully regulated. So I want you guys to ask yourself this. When was the last time that you dismissed your symptoms because your labs looked normal? What would it feel like if you started to trust your body's signals instead? Good questions to journal on for you guys. The next part that I want to get into is what I hear a lot of people, especially women, saying every single day, which is, I'm fine. The I'm fine woman who is internally bracing all day long. So I want to paint a picture for you because, like I said, I see this pattern constantly. Okay. You wake up, before your feet hit the ground, your nervous system already in gear, ready to go, ready to rock and roll, right? You have this mental checklist going on. Okay, I got to get the kids to school. I got to make sure their lunches are packed. I got to make breakfast for everybody. I got to get to work on time. I got to fight traffic. I got to see which routes I got to take to avoid certain traffic. Oh, did I check my emails yet? I need to check my emails before I actually get into my work. And then what about deadlines? Oh, there's deadlines that are due. Oh, I have one that's due tomorrow. Shoot, I forgot about that one. How did I forget about that one? Oh man, what does the husband want for dinner tonight? What about the kids? Are the kids going to eat what we want for dinner tonight? Maybe we should just go out to eat tonight. Maybe that would be a lot easier. Is he working late tonight? I forgot if tonight was the night that he had to work. Oh man, I just feel really tired. My body just feels really off. I'm not really sure, why I'm feeling this way, but I'll just figure it out later. I also need to make a grocery list and I need to meal plan for the next week because tonight is Thursday. And if we don't go shopping on Friday, then I have to fight the crowds over the weekend. And I really don't want to do that. And then we have church all day on Sunday. You see what I'm doing? I hope you get the picture. That's all before, guys. That is all before you even hit the ground in the morning. Okay. And it just continues and continues throughout your day. Your shoulders are tense first thing in the morning. Your breath is very shallow. You go and you make your coffee. Maybe you have a second to scroll and you just kind of try to let off some steam by just like doom scrolling through your phone, right? You have like 5-10 minutes to do so. Then you go get ready and then you show up. You show up for the world. You show up for the kids. You show up for your partner. You show up for your work. You show up constantly. You are so smart. You are so brilliant and you use your capacity in every aspect of your life. You're capable. You're organized. You handle things. You have this, right? People will rely on you. You're the one who remembers the details. You follow through. You don't let things fall apart. You literally carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. And at the end of the day, or maybe in the middle of the day, when people say, oh, how are things going for you? Oh, hi, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you? What do you say? Oh, I'm fine. I'm great. Things are peachy, right? Things are great. Yeah, I couldn't complain. But are they? Are we being honest with ourselves? Are we being honest with other people? So you tell yourself that you're fine, but what is actually happening underneath? Your nervous system is bracing. Your nervous system is in fight or flight all day long. From the time you wake up in the morning until the moment you literally collapse in your bed at night, you are bracing, and that is much different than stress. Because even myself, I can handle stress. Bring it. Let's go. Game time. I'm on. Let's go. I do so well in stressful situations. I manage so well in stressful situations, and I know a lot of you are the similar. But stress is a response to a specific threat. Bracing is a chronic state of readiness. How many times have you said, "Oh, I'm a light sleeper," or you know a woman who is a light sleeper? It's because they're bracing. You're constantly on the ready for when something kind of falls out of alignment. Are you the type of woman, and this has just popped in my head because I have been there too, and in some areas still am, if I'm being honest. Are you the type of woman whose purse or book bag is packed with all the supplies that you ever need for all of the occasions that may or may not happen, especially if you're a mom? I can tell you right now, my kids are 13 and almost 12, and I have a diaper bag still in the truck. Why? They spill things, they need to change their clothes. They get hurt in some way, shape, or form because we were at a park. Guess what? First aid kit's right there in the car. My son has diabetes. You better believe that I am prepared for that in the car as well. Things for the dog. There are things for the dog in the car, just in case. Just in case. There are things in my purse, just in case. I got chapstick, just in case my lips get chapped. I have Kleenex, just in case somebody needs a tissue. I have a first aid kit, a little small one, in my purse, just in case something happens. I have a hairbrush, just in case. Just in case. Can't be walking up there looking, all frazzled, right? I have pens in my purse. I have a pair of scissors in my purse. I'm not kidding, guys. Like, this is bracing. This is bracing. And like I said, I'm in it. I'm not fully in it as much as I was in it, but I have been there, and I am still working through these processes, right? But it is a chronic state of readiness, and it is not good for your body. And all you keep saying to your body with this is something might go wrong. So I'm just going to stay really vigilant. I'm going to stay tight. I'm going to stay ready, right? And when you're braced like that all day long, your body makes different choices. What is it prioritizing? Is it prioritizing safety? No. It's prioritizing survival. It's not prioritizing digestion. You're in fight or flight. Why would it? You can't have movements in your digestion if you're running away from a bear. It doesn't work out. Because that's how your body thinks. Your body doesn't know it's not being chased by a bear, but you are very much performing in the conditions of which back in the day that there was. Your body doesn't know any different. It's not prioritizing hormone production. It's not prioritizing repair. It's trying to stay safe. You're not providing your body safety. You're telling it you need to stay vigilant so that we can be safe. Those are two different things. So even though nothing is actually threatening you, your body, like I said, is operating like it is. So this is the woman who says, "I'm fine." And she actually means it because she's handling it. She's managing it. She's not in a crisis mode. She's also not regulated. She is not calm, and she is not at ease by far. And the tricky part, you're usually the last one to notice because you're so good at functioning. You're so good at pushing through, and you're so good at managing. But your body knows, your cycle knows, your digestion knows, And the biggest one, your sleep. Your sleep knows. And some of you can push back at me and say, you know what? I have real responsibilities. I can't just relax. Like, what do you mean? I have so much stuff that I have to do in a day and juggle in a day and manage in a day because I don't have support. I can't just say I need to relax. Just give me a minute. I'm not at that phase. Okay? I hear you. I hear you. Like I said, I've been there. I was that. And this isn't about doing nothing. Okay? It's about creating safety so your body can function instead of survive. You could still do all of the things, but you're going to come at it from a different perspective, from a different angle, from a different modality of function than survival state. So, some more reflection questions for you guys. And I think I'm going to start doing these reflection questions throughout the podcast episode instead of just in the show notes like I've done before. I think you guys will get a lot more out of the podcast if I could include them in the middle. So anytime you come listen to my podcast, bring a journal. We'll figure this stuff out together. Okay, so where in your day are you bracing without even realizing it? And really think about that. Bracing, not stressed out, bracing. Where can you feel the tightness in your body? Mine always happens between my shoulder blades. Or here's a good one. I saw a short one time, or a reel, same difference, of this woman cleaning her house. And she was washing the dishes by hand, and her shoulders were up washing the dishes. And she went and let her shoulders down. And then another one, she was wiping the coffee table down. Yeah. She was like getting it, right? She paused, took a breath, and then you could see she started to gently clean again. After watching that, I noticed I was the same. Doing dishes, same. Cleaning, same. How many of us clean in order to re-regulate ourselves? Because it's a mindless task. It's a mindless task that we can just do and cut out the rest of the world. That's bracing. What would it feel like if you moved through your day and actually felt safe and your nervous system was actually calm, with ease, with presence, with flow, with peace, with joy, with fun? What if we had fun every day? What if we had fun in every moment of every day? What would happen? I can tell you a domino effect of things would happen for you, for your life, for those around you. So many doors open when you have fun in your life, when you create ease and safety in your life, peace and joy. So many doors open. But we don't have access to those when our nervous system is in survival mode. Okay. So how do we create this safety? Okay. Safety first, hormones follow, then everything else. Your body has a hierarchy. It's just not a hierarchy that you chose. It's biological, it's ancient, and it's running whether you're aware of it or not. Think of a pyramid. Let's do this side. Think of a pyramid. Top of the pyramid, safety. Your nervous system is constantly asking one question and one question only. Am I safe? If the answer is no, or if your body thinks your answer is no, Everything else gets downregulated. Nothing else matters. Your digestion will slow, your metabolism will shift, your hormone production will get suppressed, your immune function decreases, right? So you get sick more often. Inflammation increases, swelling, fatigue, bad PMS symptoms. Your body is literally saying, we don't have the resources for thriving right now. We only have the resources for surviving. And again, it made sense when there was a threat of a predator, when you needed to run, when you needed to fight, when you needed to freeze or hide. Your body just shut down all of its processes because you can't digest stuff when you're running. You're not going to be trying to reproduce because you're not going to be trying to make babies while you're running. Hopefully. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't think that that's possible. So your hormones get suppressed when you're in survival mode. But in today's world, in the modern world, we don't have predators like, I mean, we do, but not actively. Predators like bears and lions and the gamut that's going to chase after us. You know what we have? We have cell phones. We have social media. We have sick children. We have financial strain. We have work obligations. We have traffic to fight. We have the news. We have media that we don't even want in our lives. We have the pressure to do it all. Be everything to everybody all the time. Have it all figured out. Have a plan. And your body doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know that we're in 2026. As far as it knows, we're in 26 BC. Or AC. No. Yeah, BC. I don't think people were alive in 26 BC, but who knows? That's not my alley of science. The point being, safety first, everything else is second. So when you're bracing all day, when your nervous system is in a state of subtle dysregulation, then your body is always going to make a choice, and it's going to say that I don't have the resources to regulate right now. I don't have the resources to digest efficiently. I don't have the resources to sleep deeply. I am using everything I have to keep myself safe. Your labs can look normal, but you're going to feel terrible because the issue is not disease. The issue is resource allocation. Your body is allocating its resources to survival and not for thriving. But there is good news. There is good news because it means that the solution is not more protocols, which means it is not more supplements. It is not stricter diets. It is not harder workouts. It is not another thing on your plate to do and check boxes. The solution is simply safety. It's regulation. It's creating an environment where your body can actually relax enough to do what it's designed to do. So what would it feel like to know that your symptoms aren't a sign of failure, but a sign that your body is just simply protecting you? Kind of gives you a different perspective, doesn't it? So here are some signs, there's 3 of them, on how to recognize when your nervous system needs support, when you are living in a subtle dysregulation. They're not dramatic. They're not crisis level. They're real and they matter. Number 1, your sleep is off, but you're not sure why. You go to bed, fall asleep fine, but you wake up at 3 a.m., maybe 4 a.m., maybe 2 a.m. You may or may not be having night sweats. You may or may not be in pain. You just wake up and instantly your mind is on. Good luck going back to sleep. Nervous system's activated. You lie there for an hour trying to fall back asleep. Maybe you give up. Maybe you go clean something, organize something, scroll on your phone, do some work. That, classic sign you have a dysregulated nervous system. Your body is waking you up because it doesn't feel safe enough to sleep deeply. Remember, I mentioned that earlier. Oh, I'm a light sleeper. This is why. It's keeping you in a lighter sleep state so that you can respond to potential threats. Or that's not resonating for you. Try this one. Maybe you are sleeping through the night, but when you wake up, you're still exhausted. Like you didn't actually get 6 to 9 hours of sleep. That's also dysregulation. Your nervous system was active all night long, and your body was bracing all night long. You were not in a deep restorative sleep. Number 2, you start the day fine, but maybe by 10 a.m. you're crashing. Oh, you just need some sugar, some coffee, right? Energy drink. We'll just get through it. And you do. And then you have a burst of energy. What happens after that energy? Crash again. Your blood sugar's all over the place. Your energy's inconsistent, and you're relying on stimulation to keep yourself going. Maybe you have that 3 p.m. crash. Maybe you make it through the day in the afternoon. But maybe you have a 3 p.m. crash. Same thing. Blood sugar. Dysregulation. Maybe you don't experience any crashes like that. Let me ask you this. Do you have intense cravings? Maybe you want to snack on some potato chips all day or fries, right? Something salty. Maybe you want sugar, candies, chocolates, sweet drinks, sodas, juices. Maybe you want carbs, breads. I'm trying to think of other carbs that are pasta. Maybe you crave pasta. Because other carbs would be sugars, and then obviously that's where the sodas and things come in, or the potato chips are also carbs. Anyways, these are not hunger, right? This is not you being hungry. This is just a pull to eat something or drink something, right? Your body's asking for that quick energy because sugar and carbs help with our energy burn, right? If you're going to run a marathon, if you're going to go to a tournament of some sort for the sport that you play, what do they say? Have carbs, right? Because carbs turn into energy in the body when they break down. And so your body's asking for that quick energy because it doesn't feel safe enough to access its own resources. When your nervous system is regulated, then your energy will be steady and your cravings will be manageable and your body will trust that it has what it needs. So that was number 2. All of that was number 2. Number 3 is that your mood and your cycle are reactive. You're irritable, you're overwhelmed. Small things feel really big. Snapping at people you love, crying over things that normally wouldn't bother you. Your emotional regulation is a roller coaster, is completely off. And your cycle reflects that. Maybe your PMS is intense. Maybe your periods are heavier or lighter, right? They don't follow that slow increase, right? Day 1, day 2, and then by day 2, 3 is like the peak, right? Peak intensity of heaviness. And then after that, day 3, they should go down until day 5 to 7. Maybe you're spotting between periods. Maybe your cycle's irregular. Maybe you're skipping some months. Your hormones are responding to your nervous system state. When your nervous system is dysregulated, your hormones follow. They are signals. They are your communicators. They have to follow your nervous system because your body still thinks it's in that survival mode and it's prioritizing safety over everything else. Now, here's the thing. You can have one of these signs, you have all 3 of these signs, or you might have something that looks completely different, but you feel the same, right? That sense of being off, not quite being yourself, running on fumes. The beautiful part, all of these are reversible, not by doing more, but by creating safety. So which of these 3 signs resonates most with you? What would shift if your nervous system actually felt safe? So the 3 signs, I'm just going to run through them really quickly. The first one was that your sleep is off and you're not sure why. The second one was that your energy and your cravings are all over the place. And then the third one is that your mood and your cycle are reactive, right? So that irritability or skipping of periods or inconsistency. So here's the thing. Oh, right. You're answering them. Sorry. Okay. This isn't, like I said, this isn't about doing more. Okay. It's about creating safety. So the bridge to regulation is this. And I want to pause here because I know where your mind might be going. You might be thinking, okay, so I need to fix my nervous system. What do I do? What's the protocol? What supplement do I take? What should I stop eating? How hard do I need to work on this? And I'm going to we're going to redirect. Again, not doing more. You are not doing more. You're going to create safety. Your nervous system is learning that it doesn't have to brace all day, that it can relax, that it can trust. And that shift happens through regulation, not through force. So what does regulation look like? Noticing, like I mentioned earlier, when you are bracing. Gently inviting your nervous system to soften. Remember when I told you about the girl who was cleaning? She paused, took a breath, relaxed her shoulders, and went right back in. Literally less than a minute for her to do that. It's going to look like creating anchors in your day. So small movements where your body learns that it is safe. Sometimes, if I feel triggered in any sort of way, and not triggered like angry triggered, but where I feel like anxious, right? Or I can just tell my body is like just a little like oomph to it. Hand on my heart, and I take a deep breath. And I just simply tell myself, you are safe right now. There's nothing chasing you. There's nothing that you need to do in this moment. Everything is fine. I am okay. And that's it. It's just coming back home to yourself. So this can also look like moving in your body or moving your body in ways that feel good. Some people I know, dance. Just break out and dance. I don't, but some people do. Some people do tapping, right? There's different points on your body that you can tap. You can do humming. Take a deep breath and hum the exhale out. That actually adjusts your vagal tone. I have another episode previously on your nervous system and regulating that vagal nerve as well. So you're not trying to get your body to prove something or to feel ashamed for how it's feeling. Okay, you're going to nourish yourself with foods that feel grounding, not foods that are optimal on paper, right? Not your counting macros things, none of that, right? What feels good for you to eat right now in this moment? And this doesn't have to be complicated, but it is different from what you've probably been taught, because most wellness culture that we grew up with says to work harder, to do more, to optimize everything, track everything, push through. And that's a great approach if you're trying to achieve something externally. But when you're trying to regulate your nervous system, that's internal. And that approach will always backfire, because every time you push, every time you force, every time you override what your body is truly asking for, you're telling your nervous system that it's not safe to listen to itself. It's micro abandonment. Regulation is the opposite. It's listening, softening, it's creating the space, it's honoring what your body is asking for, because your body already knows. And that's what we're going to be exploring in the next 2 episodes of this series: how to actually do these things, how to build a foundation of regulation so that everything else, your hormones, your digestion, your sleep, your mood, your cycle, and even things externally, finally work the way it's designed to, and they start falling into place. But for now, with this episode, I just want you to know that you are not failing. Your body is just responding. And when you stop forcing and you start regulating, healing becomes so much simpler, so much clearer, and so much more sustainable. So what is one small way you could create safety for your nervous system this coming week, this weekend, whenever you're listening to this episode? And journal on that. And so let me recap everything, because this has been a long episode and I just want this to really land. You learned that your normal labs don't mean that your body is regulated. Your symptoms are real data and they're worth listening to. You learned about how the I'm fine woman braces all day, and how high functioning can actually mask that dysregulation. You learned that your body has a hierarchy, right? That pyramid, and safety comes first. When your nervous system doesn't feel safe, everything else gets down-regulated. Hormones, sleep, metabolism, digestion. You also learned 3 signs that you're living in subtle dysregulation: sleep that doesn't feel restorative, energy and cravings that are all over the place, and that your mood and cycle are reactive. The biggest takeaway: this is not about disease, it's about regulation. And regulation is something that you can create. This week, I want you to try something simple. I want you to notice a moment where you feel braced. It might be in the morning when you first wake up, might be in the afternoon when you hit an energy crash, it might be in the evening when you're trying to wind down. Notice it. Just notice it. Don't try to fix it yet. Just become aware of it. Because awareness is always the first step to change. And then next week, we are diving into why your symptoms actually get worse when you try harder and what supportive structure actually looks like instead. So you're not going to want to miss that one. So if this episode resonated with you and you're ready to really explore what regulation actually looks like for your body and your needs, then I would love to map that out with you. The Embody Her program, the Balanced Hormonal Healing Journey, is that 90-day program for women who are done guessing, ready for something that's grounded, personalized to them. It is meant for the high-achieving woman who has been doing all the right things like we just described in this episode, and you still feel tired, you still feel inflamed or moody or just disconnected from yourself, and you're ready to stop forcing your body and actually start supporting it. If you want peace and ease and flow and stability and safety and all of the things that we mentioned today, joy and fun brought back into your life, then that program is for you, because we're going from this survival state into sovereignty. That's what I teach you. And we customize it the whole way. We focus on steady energy, calmer cycles, less inflammation, and a nervous system that actually feels safe again, so that your healing becomes sustainable, not just something that you're doing. Okay? So if you've been asking for something that is softer and more supportive, then here's your invitation. Go to my website, lindseyalexis.co./balanced, the D, balanced, and take a look at the program. It's all right there. It tells you everything, breaks it all down for you. Each phase, each day, what you're getting. And then book a free feminine reconnection mapping session with me, and we will discuss it. And we don't even have to discuss the program. We can just discuss what your next step in this regulation process is. So I can't wait to meet you when you go on there and book that. Thank you guys so much for being here. And again, if this landed for you, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a review and share this with a friend who needs to hear that she's not failing and her body is just responding, especially that friend who says, "I'm fine," every time you ask them how things are going. Next week on Healing Her Feminine, like I said, we're going to be talking about your symptoms and why they keep getting worse when you try harder and what capacity actually means. So you're going to want to hear that one. And I will see you guys on the next one.